All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Other Half Brewing Company, and they're out of both Brooklyn and Rochester, New York, and this is their Pop Tart Hamburger Highway. So they're calling this one an Imperial India Pale Ale. It's basically a triple IPA, and that's because it comes in at 10% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 3 weeks old. So I picked this one up because they're huge 10+% Imperial IPAs or triple IPAs or whatever you want to call them are usually quite delicious. They hide the alcohol very well. They just taste great typically. And this one was quite interesting. The artwork is just all over the place. I mean, they're basically talking about a hamburger that uses Pop-Tarts as the roll, which I don't know. I don't know what the meaning behind this is, but it's a crazy fucking label. Let's just say that. But yeah, for hops, a lot of hops going on in this one. Citra Cryo, Mosaic Cryo, Amarillo Cryo, Bru-1 and Nelson Sauvin. So lots of stuff going on. Hopefully it's delicious. Let's give it a crack and pour here. Ooh, so that's a bit lighter than I anticipated based on the ABV. We're just, like that. Let's not get crazy. So, yeah, orange honey color, other half personified, murky, turbid, the whole nine. About a finger, a little bit over a finger of this off-white, almost eggshell white colored head. Very creamy looking. I can see the alcohol legs on the glass. Yeah, looks like a triple IPA from Other Half. Sorry, Imperial IPA. That smells fucking awesome. Yeah, that's, what the fuck? The label is just insane. Shit's all over the place, but the taste, I mean, the aroma, just, yeah. Candied stone fruits, candied peaches, like almost like peach gummy rings. Yeah, mango, papaya, honeydew melon. I think like the Bru-1 and the Nelson are kind of doing more here. A little bit of a white grape too, almost white wine-ish from the Nelson. Dry, almost dry smelling in addition to the candied fruits. There's like this, I've been saying this a lot, but almost this like slight onion, garlic, like dank component as well. Yeah, definitely a dankness here too. Definitely sweet. It smells sweet, 10% from the malts, but also it just smells sweet from the fruits in here. Candied at first, then a little bit more of a drier, whiter fruit. Oh yeah, but that like peach gummy ring, like ripened mango, honeydew melon, papaya, just fleshy, really fleshy, just creamy, sweet fruits. And then that like white grape, white wine, like kind of after, I was gonna say aftertaste, like I'm drinking it, but at the end of the aroma. And then like an overlying onion, garlicky kind of dankness. This smells awesome. Goddamn. All right, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, another winner on their hands for fucking sure. This is really cool. So first off, let's just get the body and mouthfeel out of the fucking way. Body, higher side of medium body, lower side of full. Thin at 10% if you're just going regular 10% beer. Perfect for an Imperial IPA, triple IPA. I always like them a little bit less as far as like the viscosity of the body, just so it makes it easier to drink. But because, and I shout out to a good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Kyle over at No IPA Reviews. He's mentioned, the triple IPAs, like he wants them to hide the alcohol and just be easier to drink because he's fine with tasting the alcohol in a 10% or 12%, huge Imperial Stout or a barrel-aged Imperial Stout or something like that. But when it comes to the type of beers these are, hop forward, he wants the alcohol to kind of not hit you, and he'd prefer and I prefer the body to be a little thinner. So I totally agree with him. I don't want to taste alcohol in a 10% IPA. I feel it makes it harder for me to drink, and I also want the body to be a little bit thinner so I can, pound them back. Not multiple cans, but just the beer itself, because if it was a big boozy monster and it was really thick and viscous, it would take me a long time to drink one of these, honestly, like probably an hour plus. So body, will just say higher side of medium. The mouthfeel, it's Other Half. It's soft, it's smooth, it's creamy. Oats, flaked wheat, all the whole nine, whatever they do to this. Don't think this one has lactose in it. So the sweetness is just coming from the malt base, and it's real nice up front. That candied, almost peach gummy ring vibe, the sweeter, like ripened mango, the fleshy papaya and honeydew melon all carry over in the front of the palate. It's really sweet up front. But the cool thing about this beer is even though it's sweet up front, as it passes through the palate and just continues on, you're hit with a couple different things. Mid-palate, I'm hit with that, onion garlic kind of dankness, so it stops the sweetness a little bit. I'm also hit with a little bit of a zesty, like it's kind of slightly bittering citrus peel. As it passes on through the palate, this beer finishes semi-dry. But here's the cool thing, which I mentioned, which kind of hit me at the forefront. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. This has a mild to approaching bitterness on the back of the palate. It almost has like this slight resinous pine quality. Not necessarily pine, but like just a slight resinous hop quality. It's kind of bittering on the back of the palate. So all that sweetness that hits you up front is stopped by the dankness, then the dryness, and then the bitterness. So as it comes in, as it passes through the palate, there's waves of different characters pushing against that sweetness to stop it in its tracks and not make it too sweet. So while this does lean sweeter, and I think it'd be hard pressed for almost anybody out there to drink a 10% Triple IPA or Imperial IPA and say it's not sweet, because there's so much malt used in it that you're expecting the sweetness. But I think this does a great job of hiding the sweetness by the end of the palate. At least my opinion anyway. Here's another cool thing too. This tastes like a 7.5%, 8%, not 10. And that's what Other Half does extremely well. They hide the ABV extremely well when it comes to 10% beer. A lot of people out there be like, well, maybe it's not actually 10%. Maybe it's like 450 North, where this beer is actually like 6 or 7 or 8. Maybe, who knows? But I will say that they say it's a 10% Imperial IPA or Triple IPA, and this drink's like it's 2 or 3% lower than that, and that's impressive to me. So all in all, this is a fucking great Triple IPA. Is it the best Triple IPA I've had from Other Half? No. But this is a fucking phenomenal beer. So, Pop Tart Hamburger Highway. Don't want to say that ever again. I'm going to give this a high 4.5 out of 5 and go 4.6 out of 5. It's that fucking good. Almost approaches 4.75 for me. I'm going to get shitty on this beer, and I'm going to have a great time doing so because it just drinks so easy. And on top of that, I really like the flavors. I think I'm going to save a can of this for 2 friends of mine and viewers of the channel, Jeff, aka No Jinx, and Bud. They both like Triple IPAs, especially Bud, and I think they both would appreciate the quality of this one. So I'm going to send it out to them. I think this is going to drink well even at like 6 to 8 weeks. This is most of the Triple IPAs hold up. I've had Triple IPAs from Other Half 3-4 months old, and they're still phenomenal. So this is a beer that's going to hold up, and I think they're really going to enjoy it. And I really enjoy it, and I hope they do when I do send it their way, because beer is meant to be enjoyed and shared, and that's what I'm going to do. So price and availability, just like Other Half beers that I've reviewed on the channel, 100 or whatever. Brewery only. They do mobile can releases. They do get small distribution or self-distro to certain bottle shops in New York State. So if you happen to live in a bigger city, like say Buffalo, Rochester, Albany, and around New York City, you probably will be able to find this beer or a lot of their beers. Otherwise, just go to the Brooklyn or Rochester brewery, and you should be able to pick up beers from them. And then price point $22 4-pack. That's pretty much the going rate for Triple IPAs. And yeah, $5.50 a can all day, every day for this one. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. I'm digging it. I'm gonna drink the rest of it. I'm gonna have a great time doing so. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. To the next one. Cheers.